Hello everyone, Nev here, and today I am doing the first in a series of videos that I hope to continue to do on this channel. And I am going to be using the various decks from the Spread Crafters Oracle, and of course in this episode, is that what we call these? I don't know. In this video, I'm going to use the Quest expansion for that. Now, I wanted to start this off by saying that I did already put out a spread creation video, and that was my last video. It was something I filmed beforehand, and it was also using the Spread Crafters Oracle, and I was using it to create the moon spreads that I'm going to be using every new, full, and the 2 quarter moons throughout the year. So go check that out if you're interested. And this episode, I had planned to start off my spread creation series with the Quest expansion, and I was going to use my Eldritch Overload Tarot, which I just got for Christmas. But a few days ago, as of filming right now, this is actually going to go up a few days after I film this, but a few days before I started filming this, I think it was Sylvie at Tarot Magpie. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. She put out a video using the Quest Spread Crafters and the Eldritch Overload Tarot, and of course her video was fantastic, and she went through and kind of created a character, like a D&D character, using tarot cards and with prompts from this deck, and I just had to laugh because, you know, great minds think alike, and that was kind of what I was going to do with this one. I didn't actually have like concrete plans on how I was going to do this, and I still don't quite have concrete plans. So a lot of this is going to be just playing. And yeah, so I wanted to put that out there to say that I definitely was not the first one to think of this. So, and she totally beat me to it, and her video was great. So definitely go check that out. So because her video just came out, I decided to switch up my decks a little bit. I still want to use the Quest, but instead of the Eldritch Overload, which would aesthetically goes really well with this deck, I decided to go with another new deck of mine that I did film a walkthrough for, but that's not going to be up until I think like right after February starts. But I bought this in January with my own money, and it is the Goblins and Gardens Tarot deck. Yeah, so there is a walkthrough of this coming out in a couple weeks. Yeah, I had to push that back because I have other videos planned between now and then. So so this is the deck I'm going to use. Ooh, come on. There's no finger cutouts on this deck, which I don't think I mentioned in the video. But anyway, so of course, this doesn't aesthetically go with this one as well as the Eldritch, but I think thematically, I think this might be a fun deck to use. Ooh, there is big glare going on. I am still in a different part of my house right now because we still have a lot of construction going on at our house. Today, thankfully, we have no workers over, but my ritual room is still unusable. Oh gosh, the glare is so bad. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to, I may have to readjust the camera a little bit so we don't have so much glare, but I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, I'm not in my ritual room. I'm actually in my bedroom right now, so it might sound very echoey. We have a very, obnoxiously large bedroom with a lot of like wasted space, and so it's very echoey in here. I hope you don't mind, and the lighting is a bit different. Yeah, anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of get this set up, and we'll see. Yeah, oh, before I see, I haven't planned any of this, so a lot of this is very off the cuff here. So I also grabbed another deck as like an oracle. I grabbed an oracle deck as a potential to use in this spread, if I feel called to. Like we'll pull some cards from here. We'll see how the spread turns out, and we'll see if I go ahead and bring this in. But I grabbed the Memento Mori, the folk magic expansion, because what I sort of had in mind for this one, I was sort of thinking that there's a lot of like cards in here that maybe kind of look like tools or something. So, or a familiar or something like that, that I think might lend itself to this reading. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought it might be fun, and the energy of this sort of deck seems like it might go pretty well with this one, and you know, because it is a mix of that like, how would I describe this? You know, that very like folk magic type energy here, magic tools, things like that, mixed with botanicals. And since this is the Goblins and Gardens deck, I don't know, it feels like that kind of went together. But anyway, so I have the decks. Let me pull these over here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of do a similar thing that Sylvie did. And we're going to start out with the hero or the protagonist, or, you know, the person of the story here. And then I might pull cards from the different sections in this deck, and we can kind of come up with a little adventure here. And by the way, I am totally making this up as I go along. Like, I did not plan any of this out. You know? So it was just a rough idea I had in my head, and I'm just going with it. And I sort of figured that the end result could be used in a multitude of ways. Like, one, like we could use it as a sort of writer's aid, or maybe we could use it as sort of a past life. Maybe the significator card represents the past life, and we can kind of go through and look at what that life entailed. Or you could even use this like as the theme here, and as like a D&D campaign, or you know, any sort of role-playing game campaign, something like that. You could do that. One thing I was thinking about, or you could use it with like ancestor work or something like that. So I think what the point is what I was trying to say is that I wanted this to be very general, and I want this to be the case with all of the spreads that I create in this series, the Creating Spreads series. And that way, like, it's not like path specific. It's not, I don't know. I want it to be something that could be adaptable to anyone's situation here. Depending on the spread, of course. So when we create the spread, I want to use this notebook here. This is just a Hobonichi Papers thing, and maybe write down some notes of things that we that come up, or the spread in general, or try out different layouts of the cards that we pull. And eventually, I would like to then, you know, over time, start putting these spreads in my tarot spread journal here, which is just blank right now. So, and this isn't the forever cover. It's a cover I had, and it kind of went with it. So, yeah. So, I figure I could use, like, I could put any spreads that I really like in this. And I might create, like, this is a future plan sort of thing for me, but, and a creative endeavor. I will obviously have to create some sort of index or something. But anyway, this is just me riffing some ideas on how I might record a lot of these spreads that I create here for this channel. All right, so that's enough of me jabbering. I'm going to set some of this up, and yeah. Okay, I have very limited space here because of this small little table that I have to deal with. So anyway, I've separated the cards into the 5 sections that this deck comes with. There are the character cards over here, which these are the cards that we're going to use to start off the reading, and this is going to be the character, and it could be like a hero, or it could be a sidekick, or I don't know. It's like something like that. But that's what we'll start off with. And I was thinking after that, and I do want to have a position for each of the sections. Now, in future videos, I may shuffle them all together and do a completely new spread that way. We'll see. And also, I wanted to add that I won't necessarily use the Spread Crafters decks in future videos. In fact, the next one I'm planning on not. It's like I also plan to use like oracle cards as spread positions, or even tarot cards as spread positions, and then using a different deck or something like that. So it's not just going to be the Spread Crafters Oracle. I just wanted to clarify that. So they have equipment as the next thing in this series. However, I thought maybe the best one would be status. So we start off with the character, the hero, or the person that this reading is about. And then we go to status. What is this person's status? And all of these cards actually seem to be negative, because there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this seems like it's a like a blockage. So we're going to start off with what's blocking here. And then we're going to see, I think what makes sense is equipment next. And all of this is subject to change. Like I said, I'm just making this up as I go along. So I was thinking maybe we could start off with equipment, and how we might combat the conflict that's going on here. And then I chose power up as the next one. And the power up, I figured it's like, now that like we have the blockage here, and we've got what we're going to use to overcome this, here's the power up, and it's like how that can affect things, how that can change things. And then finally, the last category and I think this is the one that has the most cards, I chose the embark category, and it's like, to me, this feels like the start of the journey. You know, we've got the block, we've got what we need, how it's going to help us, and now we're moving on to the journey. So how we're embarking on the journey. So and I think these are a little bit of a mix of positive and negative, or things like that. But yeah, so anyway, I was also thinking that the significator card should probably be one of the court cards. So I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to pull out all of the court cards and pull it separately, and that will be the person. You know, so I'm going to pull out all of the court cards. Okay, so I pulled out all of the court cards here. There should be 16, and there are. So first off, I'm going to pull one of the character cards so that we can pull one of those, pull one of the court cards here. So, whoops, and I don't read jumpers or anything like that. So I'm just going to shuffle a little bit here. All right, and let's just pull a card. All right, so hero, perfect. I'm barely in frame here. Let me see if, okay, there we go. All right, so we've got the hero card out. So should I pull each card and then pull a card from the decks, or should I just pull all this, like the different category cards, and then pull all the cards down here? Let's, at least for the beginning thing, let's go ahead and pull out the character card. Okay, so these are all the, I can't really riffle shuffle this because it's just 16 cards, but so this is for the hero of the story, the hero of the spread. So we'll pull out a card for this. All right, let's see. The Knight of Wands. All right, the Knight of Wands is our hero. All right, awesome sauce. All right, so, and we'll see what this says here. Let's see. Focus, come on. All right, so in the adventurer, the wayfarer, the one who embarks on the journey. Who are you and the hero of your? Who are you as the hero of your story? The champion of your epic quest. All right, excellent. So the hero of this story is the Knight of Wands. Now, again, like this could be any sort of situation here. This could be, we could be doing a reading about someone in your past life, or we could be doing a reading about someone in your life. We could be doing a reading about you. We could be doing a reading about creating a story, like for writers, or any sort of, we can adapt this to any sort of situation. In my mind, I kind of like thinking about it as past life stuff. I feel like this is kind of fun and interesting in that sort of light. But I don't know. But that's how I'm coming out at this. Now we're going to figure out the layout of this after each of the cards are pulled. So I'm going to actually pull, now that we have the hero out and the card that represents that hero, I'm going to pull a card from each of these categories. And then we'll start pulling cards for those. All right, so our Knight of Wands, the status, or what has been blocking, what's a major block for this hero? All right, I'm going to go with this card. And it is blindness. All right, interesting. Now we could read that as literal blindness, or something, or more metaphorical, of course. What are your blind spots? What are some perspectives that you haven't considered? How have you been bypassing or ignoring? What are you not seeing? So our hero, there's a block that this hero does not quite understand. Or is not seeing. There's something happening that could be a blockage that the hero does not see. All right, and then let's pull one of these. This is the weapon. How can the hero, what can the hero use to look past this, or to see this, rather, because we're not looking past this, because this is a blindness. This is something we need, something that's going to help the hero see what the problem is, to acknowledge the problem. All right, so I'm going to go with this one. All right, a map. Okay, very interesting. Sorry, I'm just putting some of the cards away. Okay, so the map. Here we go. What helps you detail, capture, and mark the landscapes you are going to explore? How can you figure out the landmarks of a journey? How can you check your coordinates and find your way? So I feel like it could be something like somehow writing down or potentially creating a map to help, like maybe we're going on a journey. The Knight of Wands here is going, oops, it's not focused. The Knight of Wands here is going on a journey, and we're not always seeing the blocks in our way. But if we record what has happened, that could be a map for what we will see, if that makes sense. So that's one way we could interpret that. So the next one is the power-ups. So how will this weapon, or not weapon, but equipment, how will this equipment give us a power-up, or what are power-ups that we can see along the way? All right, and I'm going to pull this one. Okay, stealth mode. Interesting. Okay, so this one is how can you think outside of the box? How can you minimize risk and exposure? How can you escape and avoid conflict? All right. So we're kind of using this map as a guide. And yeah, okay. So the final one is embark. And we'll just pull a card here. And we have grind. Okay, mundane and repetitive, but necessary tasks. Practicing and honing your skills. The hustle, slow but steady XPs. All right, excellent. All right, so now, how do we want to lay this out? Now, it is 5 cards, so I'm going to put the knight here to the side. So let's see. We can start this off with this at the top. I'm trying to stay in frame. I'm sorry. I'm on such a small tool thing here. So here's the status. We can do it almost like a or almost like a pentagram or something. We have hero, and then, oh, maybe we can put that one there. And here and here. Let's see. I'm just trying to figure this out. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could do it like that, like a pentagram. Yeah, we could do something like that. But let's see. I feel like that doesn't quite make sense. So, or we could do something completely different. Let's try hero up there. The blind spot, maybe we can do an alternate thing. Hero, blind spot, map, we could do that, like that. And then stealth mode and grind. I don't know, let's see. What do we think about this layout? I think we should just pick one. And I think I'm just gonna land on this one. So hero, what the hero's not seeing, the blind spot, a map the hero can create to help see what they're not seeing, and then a way to sort of do this in a less obvious way, or a way that we go outside of the norm. And that might connect with this blindness. Like we've always done things a certain way, and that's why we're not seeing what's here. And so we kind of need to think outside of the box here, and then just put in the hard work. Okay, so that's the spread. Okay, so now I'm gonna pull out cards, and I've already pulled out one, of course. So, okay, I've zoomed out a little bit here. Hopefully that helps. We have our Knight of Wands here as our hero. I did also write down the positions here. So position 1 is the hero. Position 2 is the blind spot. Position 3 is the map. Position 4 is the creative solution. I forget what the card is. I think it said stealth mode. So the creative solution was kind of how I interpreted that. And the 5th position is grind, and putting in the hard work and what we need to do for that. All right, so we have the character here. I was thinking we could pull from here for the map. I don't know, or we could do that for the map and the creative solution. I don't know. I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure if I want to use this deck or not. So, anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these. I do side shuffle this deck as of right now because it is a very wide deck. The cards are a little large for my hands, but they side shuffle pretty well. Let me see if I can try to shuffle this way. And of course, there are 16 cards missing from this because I pulled out all of the court cards and I did not put them back in. So I guess that's, you could put them back in if you want, or you didn't. I mean, of course, you didn't even have to pull out court cards for this one. It just made sense to me that the character card would be a court card. So yeah. All right, so our hero here is the Knight of Wands. I almost said 9 of Wands. Our hero here is the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is, it's got a lot of fiery energy. Here it's represented by a dragon, and, ooh, what are these flowers? So I just grabbed the little guidebook for the Goblins Gardens, and wondering if they maybe list what kind of botanicals are in these cards. But it does not. But the card information is pretty cool here. So, I mean, you can pause it and read it. I like some of the keywords here for the Knight of Wands. We have trailblaze, beacon, heralding, wild. So, I mean, it's a person on a mission for sure. There's a lot of passion that this person has for whatever this situation is here. All right, so it's a little bit of a bummer that I don't know what the plans is, because I feel like that could connect with the dragon energy here that's being displayed for the Knight of Wands. At least it looks like a dragon to me. Is that a dragon? It's a little horse-like, which makes sense because it's a knight, but it does look like it's breathing or it's blowing smoke out of its nose. So I don't know. It's got dragon energy to me. So, all right. So it's a person on a mission. So the next position is the blockage. So the blind spot. Let's go with this card here. Ooh, Six of Cups. Okay. So I would read that as the blind spot is sort of a not understanding our past here, which makes sense for the next one being map. Now, do we want to use one of these cards? I've yet to decide. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull all from the one deck, and at the end I can pull like an extra card or something and see what how that might change the reading if I pull from here. So let's do that. All right. So the Six of Cups, nostalgia, looking back, there's things in the past for this Knight of Wands that this knight is just not remembering. This person is not thinking about what has already happened. So the map for this person is justice. Okay, so I feel like this is a sort of thinking about what's right, and so I'm sort of thinking about this as the Knight of Wands isn't noticing something that's happened in the past and because of that, it's sort of blocking how they can go on this adventure. So with justice as the map, I feel like this is sort of letting the knight know that potentially there was something that happened before that maybe the knight didn't think anything of, but it may have benefited the knight, but it hurt other people. And so there was a sense of like not really seeing how it affected other people. And because of that, the knight is unable to really move past whatever the situation is because they're not seeing where they might have been in the wrong in something. So that's sort of how I'm reading this. Of course, if you have your own interpretations, use your own interpretations, but it's more like just sort of the idea that's coming to my mind in regards to this. So the knight is having difficulties moving forward on this adventure because they're not understanding how in the past, how their actions may have caused harm or caused blockages for other people. And because it was something that benefited them, they're not quite seeing how they were destructive, if that makes sense. All right, so the next position was right here, and it was the creative solution. That's right, and that was also something that I was sort of thinking I could use the Oracle deck for, but we will pull from the Tarot deck. All right, so Nine of Cups. Ooh, okay. So this is like the creative solution or the stealth mode, or we could also call this the not so obvious solution. And the Nine of Cups to me can sometimes indicate a sense of privilege even. And that's kind of how I'm interpreting this. And sometimes, so yeah, I am sort of seeing this from this perspective here. So the Knight of Wands is blocked from going on their adventure because they're not understanding how in the past they have harmed others. And it's because of not understanding their own privilege in a situation where whatever happened here benefited them, but may have been harmful for other people. And so the not so obvious solution, the one that we are often blind to, is that we may have been in a more privileged position, and because of that, we didn't understand the suffering that was caused to others around, or how we got lucky on something, or something happened that really benefited the knight here, but potentially it hindered other people. And I keep saying the knight. The knight needs to sort of understand where this situation benefited them, and how. And one way I could also read this is how how the knight could use that energy to help benefit others, use their privilege, use their position of power, or money, or I mean, this is a cups card, not a pentacles or coins card, but you know what I mean. Like the Nine of Cups is, and it can be a card of indulging. I sort of see it as leaning into this. Like, we don't have to denounce where we've been lucky in life, but we can use that to help others. So that's kind of how I'm seeing that. And so the final card was the embarkment. And it was, let me look at my notes real quick. Oh, right, grind, putting in the hard work. So how can the knight put in the hard work to move this forward? So Three of Wands. I would say having a more wide view. That's how they'll be able to move forward. And that's a very quick interpretation here, but that's kind of what I'm seeing here. So the knight is experiencing a block in their path, and they're not understanding why they can't move forward. So what's blocking them is that they're not understanding something that's happened in the past, and it's something that if they had a guidebook or a map or something like that, they would understand that this was something that happened that may have benefited the knight, but didn't necessarily benefit people around the knight or another person, and how they can a creative solution, a stealthy way that they can move forward is they can lean into that a little bit and use their benefits, their privilege, the things that they've been blessed with, in certain ways to help the other person. And in general, keep a very open mind, because to me, the Three of Wands here was a straightforward sort of interpretation. I could also see this as thinking things out a bit more, though the Three of Wands is a bit more of an embarkment, which is funny because that's the position that it's in, whereas the Two of Wands maybe is the thinking about it, thinking through it. I feel like that's sort of represented here in the Justice and the Nine of Cups, but here I feel like we've got this wide open world now. It's almost like our eyes, the knight's eyes have been opened a little bit to this situation, and so now they're in a better position to keep an open mind in order to move forward. So that's how I might read this, and I might if we're reading this in the context of, say, a past life reading, and this is someone from a past life, or it's you, because it is the hero, so maybe it's you in a past life, and how we definitely have this card of the Six of Cups that really taps into that past life energy here. How is something that happened in our past life, how we can understand the injustice of it, and maybe lean into it and understand how we can take that to benefit others and open our worldview now in this current life. So that's one way we could sort of read that. We could take this in a storybook sort of way, and if you're a writer, here's the adventure, and you can create a story around this sort of situation. We can narrow it down more. Something like that. All right, so I just wanted to see how this might look if instead of the Justice and the Nine of Cups, if we had just a random card from here. So runes and rolling pin. Okay, so we've got 2 oracle cards with our 3 tarot cards. I'm actually gonna pull out the little guidebook for the Memento Mori folk magic, and let's see, runes. What does it say for runes? Where's this? CXXXIII. Right here. Okay, so set of runes needs interpretation, revealing the secret, revealing of secrets, intuition, sacred knowledge, the language of trees. So we have a something. What's being blocked is something from the past that we're not seeing. And then we could read this as, if we go a witchy route, we could say we sort of need to do divination, because that might be one way. The runes are also a form of communication. So there might be people we need to talk to. In this one here, it's talking about revealing of secrets. And sacred knowledge. And then over here, this is, so how we're moving forward is kind of a wide open thing. Like everything's laid out in front of us. So we have a more clear understanding of what's going on. And then we have rolling pin here, which is it's CXXII. Rolling pin. Okay, so the grandmothers, kitchen witchery, carry on a tradition, make memories, connection, community, breaking bread, reuniting with family, comfort, and contentment. So I feel like this is much more of a community card. So there were things that happened in the past that we don't fully understand. And with the rune card here, the rolling pin card here, I feel like maybe this could be a family situation, because it is, while it's a community card, it's kind of a more central, like, family situation going on. So talking to certain family members may help help the knight get a more wide view of what's going on. So yeah, I do think that does look pretty cool, and I feel like this reading did work with the oracle cards instead of the tarot here. So anyway, so what do you think? Yeah, so this was pretty fun to do. So I really hope to make more of these, and I know it was kind of similar to Sylvie's video, but it was also very different. So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye.